Hello everyone. For the past 30 years of my life, I have been engaged in some way, shape, or form in the marketing of products or services. And for the last 10 years, I've been marketing fermented foods and beverages. I earned my undergraduate degree in marketing, and while I was pursuing my master's degree, I was working in a marketing role full-time and professionally. So what I'd like to do in this video is talk about the current state of food marketing, kind of how that works, and explain how I believe it is imperative that food marketers change the way they operate for all of us, frankly. Before I talk about food marketing today and how I believe it should change, I want to talk a little bit about the current state of our society. In short, we have never been sicker. If you go look at the Center for Disease Control website, you'll find that diseases like diabetes, asthma, allergies, ADD, autism, autoimmune disorders, they're rampant and growing at epidemic proportions. Waistbands in the United States are growing. A full third of us are considered obese and 2/3 of us are considered overweight. That's a lot of people, and that's a real problem. The Department of Health and Human Services reports that the average American consumes 152 pounds of sugar per year. That's the average, meaning some of us are having a lot more than that to offset those that are having less. So what is marketing? Marketing is something that all kinds of organizations use today. Businesses to sell products and services, governmental agencies, churches, rock bands, and thanks to social media, just about every person over the age of 7 is using some basic marketing tactics in their lives. Organizations are 2 or more people gathered together around a common purpose in the hopes that they will grow together. And that common purpose is very often creating value where it didn't exist before. Marketing is aligning those value outputs of an organization with the needs of the customer, with the needs of the marketplace. Organizations and businesses can dream up all manner of really cool, exciting things, but unless they're in alignment with the needs of the marketplace, they won't sell. Food marketing today is a well-refined science whereby marketers hypothesize, build tests around those hypotheses, collect data, and through those data, then make decisions about how to align the value outputs of their organization to maximize sales. So, what does that mean? They'll pick a test market or a focus group. They'll create different formulations of a potential product and collect data on what the majority of the focus group or test market like, what they purchase, what drives the greatest sales. The most important aspect of this to consider is that we're a very data-driven society, and the data end up driving the decisions behind what is on the store shelf or what is offered in the restaurant. The problem with this model of marketing is twofold. First, food marketers mix up wants and needs. A need is something you absolutely need. A want is something that you crave or just want to possess. Now that's fine if your product is a cool car or a beautiful dress or a practical app for your smartphone. But when your product is ingested by people and can affect their health and well-being, then I think most reasonable people would agree that it's important to separate wants from needs, because wants very often includes cravings and addictions to certain foods like sugars and high glycemic carbs and even caffeine maybe. The second is that the data don't capture the difference between the wants and needs. The data include all of those addictions to the sugars and to the unhealthy constituents. And so of course the data are going to show that foods with more sugar in them sell the best and bring repeat customers more often. There is a higher calling here that transcends the simple science of data collection and mining. Even if your marketing analysis included interviews with potential customers or focus groups, people don't always articulate exactly how their subconscious behavior will act at the point of purchase. A good example of this would be in the 1970s, a prominent watch manufacturer formed a focus group and asked this focus group to look at a prototype watch that had a battery in it and an automatic movement so you wouldn't have to wind your watch every day. The result of that marketing effort was that most people didn't find winding your watch to be an inconvenience, and the marketers recommended that they do not release the watch, that it would not be a good seller. Management at that company at that time decided to go against what the marketing research said, and today most wristwatches manufactured are automatic movements. So people don't always tell you how they're going to behave at the point of purchase. And when they're addicted to a food component, that just changes the whole ballgame. So for this reason, I think it's imperative that food marketers do some deep soul searching about their role in our society and whether or not they want to be a part of the solution to our health problems as a country, as a society, or whether they want to continue to be the problem. Now, some of you may say, Michael, you know, people choose to eat these foods. That's what they want from us to manufacture. And how could we possibly be culpable for that? They make the choice. Well, in the 1950s through the 1980s, there were many companies that would argue that people wanted to use tobacco products and smoke cigarettes. And how were they responsible for those decisions? But in the end, the courts of our nation found that indeed those companies, big tobacco, were culpable and did play a role in that. And so here we have a situation that's very similar. These foods, the way we're making them and the way they're being presented to the marketplace are slowly having health consequences for our nation. The problem is exacerbated because a lot of these foods are being consumed by children. And even with tobacco, we had and do have laws that prohibit children from using tobacco products, but we don't have any laws prohibiting children from eating unhealthy foods. I've worked with a lot of good-hearted people in food marketing over the years, and none of them would consciously make a decision to harm other people. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we need a little bit of a tweak of our values and our perspective. And that may be realigning the values of our organization's mission. I'm not saying don't be profitable. I'm just saying that eventually a lack of transparency and a concerted effort to prey on the addictions of customers will catch up with your brand. As a profession, as food marketers, let's make a change to align the value outputs of our organizations with the true needs of our customers. And what our customers need are foods that taste great and are healthy for them, even if the data don't show it. If you want to stay informed about the latest in gut health, please like this video and subscribe. If you have a question or a comment, please leave it below. I always try to respond. And if you feel this information could be helpful to others, please share it. Thanks for watching.